just to make sure that I have some people online with me, can I have all those who are online messaging me with a hi or something which makes me sure that I have at least some people that they are online with me and I can begin off with my session? Please type a hi or a hello or something like that. So I can see there are 5 people who are live with me and I am going to start off with the session right now. So welcome to my channel. I have people messaging me. Yes, thank you for that. Welcome to my channel. We will now be starting off with the ATC to ATE revision. Before I go off to ATC, a few lookups to about ATC. First about ATC is ATC to ATE is deductions from gross total income. So ATC to ATU is the entire section. In our today's class, we will be covering ATC to ATE. Now starting off, gross total income, when I'm doing the deductions, you will remember first thing that ATC deductions, the maximum limit is going to be rupees 1,50,000. And then what is the income which I can take when I'm doing the deduction? It's going to be gross total income minus long-term capital gain, short-term capital gain and casual incomes. Before I actually go into starting off with ATC, here I have a small quiz which we will start off with. So what you all are going to do is, you all are going to type the answers in the comment section, and as the answers are going to be right, I'm going to go forward to the next question. So I hope you all have understood what exactly we are going to be doing. So here I'm putting up the first question. What is the maximum limit of amount allowed as deduction under section ATC? So can I have all of you typing in the answers fast in the comment section? I hope you all can see the question. Please type in the answers. I'm not able to see any answers. You'll have to be fast. Yes, I can see Sheetal is the first with one person who's typed 1,50,000. Even others, yes, Kajal, yes, Dikshita. So now I'm getting the answers. Let me... 1,000. Now ATC has a lot of many other sections and many other parts. Not sections, many other parts. We will be discussing each of them in detail. Starting off with the first one, under ATC, a very important deduction will be your life insurance premium. Whenever you take a life insurance, you are going to pay the premium. This amount of premium which you pay on your life insurance, you can claim for deduction. What is the amount of deduction you can claim? So there are 3 scenarios. First one, if you have taken the policy before 2012. Second one, if you have taken the policy after 2012. And the third one, if the policy is taken for a disabled person. So the amount of deduction will be actual amount of premium, or if the policy is taken before 2012, it is 20% of sum assured. So I'll repeat, life insurance premium, the deduction comes under section ATC. There are 3 situations. Number 1, if the policy is taken before 2012, the maximum amount allowed is 20%. After 2012, 10%. And if it is a disabled person, it is going to be 15%. So keeping this in mind, I have another question for you, which I will display on the screen. It is a life insurance premium question. I want you all to solve the question and tell me the answer. So here I am placing forward the question for you. If a life insurance policy is taken in 2010, premium paid 30,000, sum assured 6 lakhs. Calculate the amount of deduction allowable under section ATC. Now, I want you all to solve this question at the earliest and type in your answers in the comment section below right away. Premium paid 30,000, sum assured 6 lakhs, policy taken in 2010. What will be the amount of deduction allowable? Yes, I can see one answer, Dikshita. Dikshita, I would like you to read the answer to solve the question once again, if you could do so. Yes, Saloni, yes, I'm waiting for other answers as well. Okay, so I have got different answers. I have got 2 answers. Now I will give you what is exactly going to be the right answer. The life insurance policy, it is taken in 2020, which means it is being taken before 2012. So the maximum I can deduct will be 20% of my sum assured. So 20% of 6 lakhs is 1,20,000 or 30,000, whichever is less. So 1,20,000 or 30,000, which is less, it is going to be 30,000, which is less. So you will have to do it in this way for every question. Actual amount of premium or 20% of sum assured, whichever is less. Why have I taken 20% here? Because the policy is taken before 2012. So the answer which I can claim for deduction will be 30,000. I hope you all have got the right answer. Now I'm going to move forward to the next point under the 80C deduction. The second one is contribution to recognized provident fund, statutory provident fund and public provident fund. If any assessee is going to make contribution to RPF, SPF and PPF, all the 3 he can claim for deductions, but he cannot claim it for unrecognized provident fund. Reason being, it has not been recognized by income tax. Now, the question arises, in whose name can I contribute to these PFs? I can contribute in my own name, that is in the name of the assessee, in the name of the spouse and in the name of the child. So it could be the child could be married, unmarried, etc. So in these 3 names, I can contribute in the provident fund: SPF, RPF, PPF and UR. And SPF, RPF and PPF. These are the 3 which I can contribute. Now, again I have another question. Here is the question. Can we deduct contribution to URPF? Point number 1. What is URPF? It is unrecognized provident fund. Now you all are going to tell me yes or no. So I've got 2 answers, which is no. Yes, you all are perfectly correct. Well done. We cannot deduct contribution to URPF, and what we can deduct is to PPF, RPF and SPF. Now, moving back forward, if I have to go to the next one I will be talking to you is about contribution to superannuation fund. Just like there is RPF, PPF, yes Monica, you are completely right. Just like there is RPF, SPF and PPF, there is also superannuation fund. So if I am contributing to superannuation fund, I will get deduction under 80C. So contribution for life insurance premium and provident fund and superannuation fund. The third one is group insurance policy. If an employer has taken a group insurance policy for his employees and he is paying premium to such a policy, he can also claim for deduction. Now, moving to the next important one, which you will commonly see in all your papers, is the NSC 8th issue. That is National Savings Certificate 8th issue. This National Savings Certificate, it is a government bond. And whenever you take a bond, you are going to receive interest. So this NSC, whenever I am contributing to the NSC, whatever amount I am contributing, I can claim for deduction. Along with that, accrued interest, the interest which I receive on the bond, I can also claim for deduction. Pay attention here. The interest amount, it is going to be taxable in income from other sources, and I will also claim deduction in the NSC under a section 80C. So I am first going to tax the interest on NSC 8th issue. I am going to tax it in my income from other sources, and I am going to claim for deduction in my NSC 8th issue. Now again I have a question for you on board. You will all give me the answer to that. Can accrued interest on NSC 8th issue be deducted? Come on girls, type in your answers soon. Yes. So I have Suhasini, Madhu, Monica. Yes. All of you. Yes. So all the answers are right. I completely agree with all of you. And now, so subscription to NSC 8th issue along with accrued interest is repaid only on maturity. Therefore, both of them can be deducted. Now, there are certain other important deductions under 80C, which I will tell you. First one, which you may commonly see since we are a girls' college, would be deposits in Sukanya Samriddhi account. Now, Sukanya Samriddhi account is an account which the government has opened for the welfare of a girl child. This account is the child or in the name of the child of whom are the legal guardian. Second option in India. For instance, if you are doing your MBA in India, your parents can for education in India. What can I deduct? I can deduct the tuition fees. The next I could deduct housing loan repayment. I have taken the housing loan. Now I'm reading the amount. I can do the deductions. So the following points because deposits in post office savings bank account, depart and tuition fees of any 2 children for full-time education in India. So this is a brief overview of all the important parts of 80C. Now I'm going to display a full-fledged 80C question. You will have to take a notebook and a pen, or your phones are also okay if where you would like to solve it. You will have to solve the question and tell me the final answer. So before I display, we spoke about life insurance premium, then we spoke about Provident Fund, we spoke about Sukanya Samriddhi, Post Office Savings Bank, NS. For the previous year. Contribution to organized provident fund, deposits in public provident fund, repayment of loan, insurance premium. Now, there are minor points which I would like to discuss with you post you solve the question, but I think I would give you good 3 minutes to solve this question. So please start solving the question. Are you all able to see the question? I hope you have started solving the question. I have given you 3 minutes to solve the question. Also, at any point of time, if you all have any doubts in regard to the part sections we are doing, please type in the doubts in the comment section. Definitely, I will answer and reply to you during the process of the video itself. Also, when you do so, there will be other people who have the doubts and all of their doubts can be clarified at the same time. And one more tip to all of you, whenever you are doing a full-fledged question, never look at the question as a whole. Always look at the question in small parts, each individual point as one part, and then you solve the question. That way you will never get stressed looking at a full-fledged question. And the second point here is that you will never make a mistake because you have looked into every detail. So always look into each detail as you are solving the question and start doing it. If anybody has any confusions, put it into the comment section and I will help you. Yes, ma'am, under NSE 8 issue, you said something about 6 years. The lock-in period is 5 years, right? Yes, the lock-in period for the NSE 8 issue is 5 years. Yes, Kunjan, it is 5 years. Is it 2,19,000 or 1,50,000, whichever is lower, the answer? So is it 1,50,000? Madhu, I will wait for 2 more minutes for everybody to solve it and then I will go to the final answer. But Padmashri says 1,50,000. Even Madhu says 1,50,000. Madhu, good, you've been really fast in solving the question. That's good. Dikshita, ma'am, is there any deduction for post office savings account? Yes, darling, post office savings account is the deduction which is there under ATTT, ATTB and ATC. It is there in 3 sections. Dikshita, I hope I have answered your question. I have Dinu, Saima, Saloni, Meghna also coming up with the answers, and I have given you exactly 3 minutes to solve it, which is what you will need to solve the question. Now I will go into the question. Life insurance premium paid on own policy, I can deduct 30,000. Policy was in 2013, which means it's after 2012. Sum assured 1 lakh, which means what is the percentage? It will be 10%. 1 lakh into 10%, 10,000 or 30,000, whichever is less, that is definitely 10,000. On the life of wife, 10,000, policies in 2011, sum assured 1 lakh. So 1 lakh, it is before 2012, which means 20%, 1 lakh into 20%, 20,000 or 10,000, whichever is less, becomes 10,000. On the life of father, there is no deduction which we can claim here. Life insurance premium can be in the name of the assessee, in the name of the spouse, and in the name of the child. So there are only 3 parts. Now, contribution to unrecognized provident fund. Here you don't have to consider it because it is unrecognized. Third one, deposits in public provident fund, you can claim for deduction of 1,45,000. The fourth one, repayment of loan taken from LIC for construction of residential house, 5,000 per month, including 2,000 per month as interest. Now, when I'm taking repayment of housing loan, I'm claiming deduction only for the repayment of loan, not for the interest. So it's going to be 5,000 minus 2,000, 3,000, and it is per month, which I will have to consider annually. So 3,000 into 12, 36,000. Next one, insurance premium on the life of minor son is paid on 2nd of April. Very, very important. Whenever you're looking at insurance premium questions, I want you to look at the date when the premium is paid. If the premium is paid after 31st March, you cannot claim for deduction in that particular year. You have to claim it in the next year. So in our case, it is paid on 2nd of April, which is after 31st March 2018. So I will not claim it in this year. So our answer is going to be 1,50,000. You have 2,01,000 or 1,50,000, whichever is less. So definitely it is 1,50,000. Okay, now coming back to this, we were going through ATC. We have completed almost all the important adjustments for ATC. I would still have you, once we are done with the online revision, you can go back, read all of them. So make sure that you have understood each of the following adjustments, because in class I have done each of them in depth and detail. Now moving forward, the second one is contribution to pension fund of LIC. 80CCC, 80CCC. Whenever you are contributing to the pension fund of LIC, you can claim for deduction under section 80CCC. And the maximum amount which you can claim for deduction is 1,50,000. So 80C also the maximum amount is 1,50,000. 80CCC also the maximum amount is rupees 1,50,000. So once again, back to the screen, there is a question for all of you. Which section covers contribution to pension fund of LIC? This should be answered within seconds. All of you have to type in your answers very soon. 80CCC, 80CCC. Yes, Madhu and Padmashri, both of you are really fast. Yes, Saloni. Yes, Monisha. Now, Monica has a question. Ma'am, is there any exempted amount of 3,500 in case of post office savings bank? Yes, Monica. When you are receiving interest on post office savings bank, it is taxed under income from other sources. So when you are doing it, first you will minus 3,500. Then whatever is the amount which you are taxing under other sources, that much amount you can claim for deduction in 80C. Now, very good. All of you have been really fast. I am getting a lot of answers. Now I will go back and we will move forward to the next most important, highly important section, that is section 80D. Now section 80, before that, we're going to section 80CCD. Now section 80CCD, it is Atal Pension Yojana or New Pension Scheme. It is a scheme where central government employees have to mandatorily contribute to it. Other employees can also contribute, and even a self-employed individual can contribute. So you have 3 categories who are going to contribute to 80CCD. First one, central government employee, it is mandatory. Second one, Other employees, they may contribute. Third one, even self-employed individuals can contribute to this particular scheme. What is the maximum amount which they can contribute? For employees, both central government and other employees, it is 10% of salary. When I say 10% of salary, what do I mean by salary? Salary means basic pay plus dearness allowance, DA, which is going to enter the retirement benefits. And for other individuals who do not have salaries, for them the maximum limit is 20% of gross total income. Now, whenever you contribute to this, even your employers will contribute. This employer contribution, it is outside the limit of 80 CCE, and the government has also given an additional deduction under this section of 50,000. For now, all you remember is that 80 CCD is also known as new pension scheme. It is also known as Atal Pension Yojana. You are contributing to this account. What is the maximum amount you can contribute? 10% of salary, or for other who are self-employed individuals, it is 20% of gross total income. Now, going back to my next question. Yes, Shrishta, I will definitely upload it. Atal Pension Yojana is also known as. Can I have all of you typing in the answers for me? Also tell me which section talks about Atal Pension Yojana. I have two questions for you. New pension scheme, yes Padmashri, yes Madhu, yes Saima. So Atal Pension Yojana is also known as 80 new pension scheme, and the section is 80 CCD. All those of you who are even just coming online with me, you can definitely type in the answers. It does not matter if you are soon or late, but typing in the answers will help you memorizing it. Yes, yes, all of you have given me the right answers. Yes, Divya. Yes, Dikshita. Now, second question for all of you. What is the maximum limit of contribution by an employee under section 80 CCD? So section 80 CCD, as we spoke about, is new pension scheme. Can I have all of you tell me what is the maximum limit of contribution for an employee? 80 CCD. Okay, when you're telling me 10% of salary, you also have to tell me what do you mean by salary. Monisha, I will tell you 80 CCE very soon. It is my next topic. For now, let's concentrate on 80 CCD. Divya, here I'm talking about an employee. For an employee, it will be 10% of salary. For a non-employee, it will be 20% of GTI. And when I'm saying salary, I mean salary is equal to basic pay plus dearness allowance. Yes, yes. I'm getting a lot of good answers. Thank you all of you. Yes. So the answer is 10% of salary. Salary means basic pay plus DA, which enters retirement benefits. Okay. Now coming back to me here. The next section is 80 CCE. Now 80 CCE says that the maximum limit of contribution under deduction under 80C, 80CCC, that is 80CCC, and 80CCD, the total maximum deduction can be rupees 1,50,000 only. Though individually 80C maximum limit is 1,50,000, 80CCC maximum limit is 1,50,000, 80CCD the maximum limit is 1,50,000, but 80CCE still says the overall maximum limit should be only 1,50,000. Now, again I have another question for all of you which I have just discussed. Let's have a look at the question. What is the maximum limit under section 80 CCE? Also tell me which are the three sections this particular 80 CCE covers. Yes, Madhu, 1,50,000. I have others also typing in the answers for me. Yes, Padmashri. Yes, yes, Chaitanya. Yes. Can you tell me which? Yes, Divya. Yes, Monica. Yes, Anita. Can you all tell me which are the three sections which this 80 CCE is covering? Yes, I have 80C, 80CCC and 80CCD. Yes, all of you are really fast. That's exactly the right answer. Now moving on to my next section. The next section talks about is 80D. Can anybody type in and tell me what is 80D? Which section is 80D? What does it talk about? It is very, very important. Section 80D talks about, I'm waiting for it, yes, Mediclaim. Now section 80D talks about deduction in respect of insurance Mediclaim. Meghna, disability is 80DD. Now I am going to concentrate on 80D. Under 80D, whenever an assessee has paid any medical insurance premium, he can claim for deduction in two ways. One category is for himself, for his spouse, and for his child. Another category is for his parents. So when he, his spouse, and his child are contributing towards medical insurance premium, they will get a deduction of rupees 25,000. But if even any one of them, be the assessee himself or be it the spouse, if any one of them is a senior citizen, the limit of 25,000 goes up to rupees 30,000. The second category, he can claim an additional deduction if he is paying the Mediclaim of his parents. So for parents, again, he can claim 35,000, and if any of the parents are senior citizens, he can claim 30,000 rupees. When I'm talking about Mediclaim insurance premium, I mean to say it includes three aspects. First, Mediclaim. Second one, any contribution to central government health scheme. And the third one is preventive medical health checkup. Certain important conditions over here. First one, when I'm contributing towards medical insurance premium, I cannot, if I'm making the payment in cash, I cannot claim for deduction. Second one, this medical insurance, it has to be approved by GIC or by the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. Point number 3, preventive medical health checkup. I can make the payment in cash, and the maximum which I can allow for deduction for preventive medical health checkup, paid in cash or not paid in cash, is rupees 5,000. Now I will repeat section 80D for you. I can claim deduction for an individual, for the assessee, for the spouse and for the child for rupees 25,000. I can also claim it for my parents for rupees 25,000. If any one of them are senior citizens in the category, the limit extends to 60,000, to 30,000. The second point, medical insurance premium, I cannot pay it in cash. If I pay it in cash, I cannot claim for deduction. Preventive medical health checkup, I can make payment in cash, but the maximum which I can claim for deduction under preventive medical health checkup is rupees 5,000. Now on your screen, I shall have another question for all of you. Please ignore the omen, it is payment. There's a typing error which I have made. Yes, 5,000. Yes, 5,000. Yes, I am getting in the right answers. Yes. Yes, all of you are right. This means all of your preparation is going on really well. All of you have been giving me the right answers. Good. Now, moving to my second question. So, yes, 5,000 is the right answer. What if one of them is a senior citizen? What is the limit extended up to for 80D deduction? 30,000, yes. Yes, Saima, yes. Madhu, Gunjan, yes. Yes, I'm moving to my next question now. 30,000 is the right answer. Now, here I have a full-fledged question for all of you. Once again, I would like you all to solve this question because it could be either asked for a 4-marker or it could be a part of a full-fledged question. Now, I want you all to read it and I will give you exactly once again 3 minutes to solve the question. Yes, now I want all of you to start solving this question and tell me the answer. 49,000 Madhu is telling me. Madhu, I will wait for everybody to solve it and then we will go further. Meghna says 45, 43. We are revolving around a lot of 43, 45. Dikshita says 32. Chaitanya 45, 43. Okay. Can take 2 more minutes and re-see if anybody has gone somewhere wrong. Check once again. Okay, so now I think I've given you 3 minutes and I will start discussing the question with all of you. I want you, as I'm discussing the question, I want each one of you to look into the question. First one, medical insurance of self paid by check. Yes, 10,000 rupees allowed. Now, medical insurance of wife, it is paid in cash. Medical insurance of wife is allowed, but if you see, it is paid in cash. Because it is paid in cash, I cannot consider the 5,000 rupees. Next, medical insurance premium of 16-year-old son paid by check to private insurance company which is approved by IRDA. It is approved by IRDA, so I can consider it, and I can claim it for myself, spouse and child. So 3,000 rupees. Now, is there anything related to wife right now? Yes, there is preventive medical checkup of wife which is paid in cash, 8,000. Preventive medical checkup, it can be paid in cash, yes. But what is the maximum limit? It is 5,000. So I will have 10,000 plus 3,000 plus 5,000. That is going to become 10 plus 3 plus 5 is 18,000. Now moving to the parents. Mediclaim premium on the medical insurance of his father and mother, 27,000. Okay, 27,000. Now medical premium of his dependent younger brother. Have I ever mentioned to you about a younger brother? No, I've always told you it should be either self, spouse and assessee or it should be the parents. Now in our case, for younger brother, can I claim deduction? No. Now for parents, have they mentioned anywhere that the parents are senior citizens? No. So what is the maximum limit? Actual amount paid 27,000 or 25,000, whichever is higher. So in our case, whichever is lower. So in our case, it's going to become 25,000. Now 18,000 plus 25,000 is the right answer. So the right answer is going to be 43,000. I hope you all have understood how we have arrived at 43,000. Okay. Now I hope you all have understood how we have arrived at 43,000. Going forward, I will be talking to you about the other deductions, the other 3 sections which are left. So section 80D, I hope you all are very clear, and I am repeating time and again. I have been repeating. 80D is a very important section. Please know it on your fingertips. Moving to the next one, that is 80DD. Hint to remember this. It has to be dependent disabled. Section 80DD, dependent disabled, it says that if you are incurring any amount for treatment, nursing, Padma Shri, the final answer is 43,000. 18,000 plus 25,000, that is 43,000. Now 80DD is dependent disabled. So if you are incurring any amount for maintenance, for treatment, for nursing of any dependent disabled, then you can claim a flat deduction. a flat deduction of rupees 75,000, which means if you're taking care of a dependent disabled or incurring some maintenance expenses of 5,000, you can still claim a deduction of rupees 75,000. And if the disability is 80% or more, which is certified by a doctor, you can claim a deduction of 1,25,000. So 80DD says when there's a dependent disabled, you can claim for deduction. You can claim for deduction either flat deduction of 75,000 or 1,25,000. Even if you're incurring 5,000, even if you're incurring 1 lakh, you would claim a deduction of 75,000, provided the disability is less than 80%. If the disability is more than 80%, your limit extends to 1,25,000. Now, I want each one of you to type into the comment section that 80DD is dependent handicapped, and you can claim a deduction of 75,000 or 1,25,000. This, when you type it, I'm sure you will remember it. So I want you to do it right away. All those who are online with me, please type section 80DD, dependent to disabled, deduction will be 75,000 or 1,25,000, and it is flat deduction of 75,000 or 1,25,000. Yes. Ma'am, where and when are we supposed to do the additional deduction under section 80DD 1B? Madhu, to answer your question, you will have to do it when you have extended the limit of 1,50,000. That's when you can claim an additional deduction of 50,000. Yes. Thank you, girls. Now I hope you'll remember 80DD stands for dependent handicapped. 80D is medical insurance premium. 80DD is dependent handicapped. Now moving one more word. Section 80DDB says that if there is a person, that is the assessee or his dependent relative, the assessee or his dependent relative. What is relative here? Relative means the assessee, the spouse, the child, the parents and the brother and sister of the assessee. If they are suffering from any notified illness, I am talking about 80DDB, if they are suffering from any notified illness, then they can claim for deduction under this section. The deduction will be either 40,000 rupees or 60,000 or 80,000. There are three categories: 40,000, 60,000 or 80,000. 40,000, it is a total amount. Say the assessee, the spouse and the child are suffering from cancer and they have incurred some amount. The total amount of deduction they can claim is 40, 60 or 80. If all of them are below 60 years, it is 40,000. If they are above 60 years, it is 60,000. If they are above 80 years, it is 80,000. So if they are suffering from any notified illness, you can claim for deduction. So once again, section 80D is medical insurance premium, section 80DD is dependent handicapped, section 80DDB is notified illness. Now this notified illness is going to be again time and again the government notifies in the official gazette what is the notified illness which will be covered. Now moving to our last section for the day, that is section 80E, interest on loan taken for higher education. So here I am not talking about repayment of loan, I am talking about the interest which I am going to pay on loan. Interest on loan taken for higher education. First understand, it is interest. So I am talking about interest which I am going to pay on the loan which I am taking. This interest, when I pay, I can claim for deduction for 8 assessment years provided I have taken it for higher education. What is higher education? Higher education means anything after senior secondary. What is senior secondary? Senior secondary means after PUC. So after PUC, say I am doing BSc, BA, MBA, MSc. If I have taken any loan, I am paying interest on that, I can claim for deduction. This can be done in the name of the assessee, in the name of spouse and in the name of child. Now there are some questions which are coming up here. Ma'am, you told dependent siblings as well. Are you sure we didn't consider it in class? Padmashri, yes, I am definitely sure. When you're talking about a dependent relative, it is mentioned as dependent relative means assessee, spouse, parents, brother and sister of the individual who are dependent. Okay. Now, So section 80E is interest on loan of higher education. Higher education means after second PUC. Here higher education, it can be in the name of the assessee, the spouse and the child. And for how many years can I keep claiming this interest deduction? For 8 assessment years. Every year there is no limit. I can keep claiming any amount which I want to. Okay. So with this, I have winded up the revision for 80C to 80E. Now, if there are any doubts, I'm going to stay live for the next 5 minutes. You can ask me. So I'm waiting for your doubts to come in. So if you can ask me, you please do so. Yes, Gunjan, there is no maximum deduction for interest on loan for higher education. Is there any questions which I have missed during the video and I haven't answered? You could still ask me those questions. I'm going to be online. Child should be dependent or not? Monisha, the child need not be dependent. Ma'am, tell about the 80 CCD subsections. Okay, I'll go one by one. I'll answer questions one by one. Now, 80 CCD subsection says that 80 CCD is Atal Pension Yojana or new pension scheme. 80 CCD says that if you are contributing to Atal Pension Yojana, you can claim for deduction. The employee can claim for deduction. That is, he can claim 10% of salary as deduction. Second one, if the employer is also contributing to that particular employee's account, he can also contribute up to a maximum of 10% of salary. That can be claimed for deduction. But that is outside the limit of 80 CC. I told you 80 CC maximum limit is 1,50,000. This employer contribution is outside the limit of 80 CCE. The government wanted to promote the Atal Pension Yojana, so they said that along with 1,50,000, we will give an additional deduction of 50,000 in 80 CCD. So basically 80 CCD, you can claim a deduction of up to rupees 2 lakhs. 1,50,000 plus 50,000, that is 2 lakhs. But this 50,000 is additional deduction. It is outside the limit of 80 CCE. Okay, now the next question I've told you. Ma'am, what exactly does lock-in period mean? Madhu, lock-in period means that during that particular period, I cannot withdraw money from that account. So if I'm talking about lock-in period for a particular bond is 5 years, once I've invested that amount in that particular bond, for 5 years, I cannot withdraw money from that bond. Assume it is a bank account. I deposit money in the bank account. For 5 years, I cannot withdraw money from that bank account. Then, ma'am, what about NSE issues before 8th issue? That is not valid now. Meghna, we'll have to only consider the NSE 8th issue. The NSE other issues, their term is over. Now, what is the use of lock-in period, ma'am? The use of lock-in period is that you cannot withdraw the section from that, you cannot withdraw money from that particular account. So the government will have money for that particular period with them. Okay, Amrita, ma'am, in the last section for relative, is linear ascendant also considered? No, Amrita, only as many as I told you are considered. Linear ascendant descendant concept does not come here. That is only in other sources. I hope I have answered all your questions. Are there still any more questions which I need to answer? Are we all sorted? So 80C, 80D, 80C, 80CCC, 80D, 80E, all covered in our today's class. Can I go offline? Is there anybody who has any doubts, any questions? You can post in your questions. I am still I'm still here online, ready to answer your questions. Ma'am, can you please tell us once again about relatives? Parimala, I will tell you about relatives, but please don't get confused with the income from other sources relatives. Here it is a dependent relative. When I'm talking about a dependent relative here, it means it is going to be the individual. Here the relative is going to mean the individual. Then it is going to be the assessee, the spouse, the parents, the brother and the sister. but the parents, the brother and the sister, have to be dependent. So it is said as dependent relative. Okay, now there is one more question. Ma'am, in the last section there is once again, ma'am, how long can we claim deduction under section 80E? Isha, to answer your question, 80E deduction can be claimed up to 8 assessment years. Every year you can claim any amount of interest which you have been paying, but the years which you can claim maximum is 80E. Okay, Dinu has a question. Ma'am, should we consider both interest amount and actual amount of NSC 8th issue? Yes, Dinu, you have to consider both when you're claiming deduction under 80C. Now, ma'am, what are the important sections from 80C to 80U? Amrita, I have told all the sections are important. So, please follow up with my classes and you will get them. Ma'am, what about the principal amount in case of section 80E? Anita, it does not provide for repayment of principal amount. That the government and the income tax authorities have said, you do it, I will give you interest deduction. Okay, Parimala, ma'am, what if the children are independent? Parimala, I think to answer your question, since the section particularly mentions dependent relative, going by the words, I will assume the children also to be dependent. If the children are independent, then I think they will claim it in their own 80C to 80U. Now, are there any more doubts? I hope I have done justice and answered all your doubts. Okay, so thank you for, probably you would have watched IPL along with this or you would have left it. So thank you for that. And I will meet you soon. Tomorrow at the same time, we will do the further sections. Till then, good night, take care, stay hydrated, stay safe. Bye-bye, love you all.